Hello and you welcome to yet another edition of the Afro Students Panel Discussion on Clivina TV. And like always, my name is Frank Kalidemu. They are encouraging you to remember to sign up with us on www.clivina.com. All right, today we'll be discussing the CIEPUK UK Luncheon, International Induction and Award Ceremony South Africa 2023. And I have as my guest on Honorable Enwanguna Ubaka. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And then also His Excellency Ambassador Professor S.J. Uba. Professor, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Franca, and good afternoon, viewers.
I'd like to have an introduction from you both. So let's start with Honorable Ubaka. Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Ubaka Enwanguna. I'm an educational expert, professionally trained for that matter. And I'm also the convener of a Teachers Niger reality TV show. It's a reality TV show that helps and supports teachers and reward teachers. And we're currently changing the narrative in the teaching profession in Nigeria, and we intend to escalate that to the other African countries. And I'm also the program coordinator, global program director for the Chartered Institute of Educational Practitioners, UK. And we're doing a whole lot of things in the area of education. That's why we're here to let the world know, what we're doing to support education. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll get back to what you guys are actually doing, but let's take Professor Mba's introduction.
Okay, thank you, Frank. My name is Professor Stanley Junior. Privileged to be the Vice President of CIEPUK. CIEPUK simply means Chartered Institute of Educational Practitioners, United Kingdom. So I work in that portfolio in CIEPUK, and also as an educator, human rights educator, human rights advocate. So my core area is to bring education to the grassroots, the community of Africa, and also the world at large. In fact, that's actually the business of CIEPUK. Thank you.
It's all right. Good to have you both on board. All right. I will start with Honorable Ubaka. What are the main objectives of CIEPUK? CIEPUK, right?
Yes, correct.
All right. So what are the main objectives?
Well, the main objective of CIEPUK is to bring education to the grassroots in the area of supporting those that are not able to fund their education, those that don't have the opportunity to have formal education or to improve their education. That is the main objective, to give them opportunities, to be at par with those that, in quotes, have the leverage and the funds, to support themselves in education. Our CIEPUK is also out to improve the quality of lesson delivery in schools. That goes to the area of improving the quality of the teachers through training, through conferences, through improvement. We currently have what we call a training program that we have for teachers, where they go through some programs to improve their knowledge. There are some teachers using Nigeria as a case study. There are some teachers that have the NCE certificate. There are some teachers that have the graduate certificate in education, and some of them have a postgraduate diploma in education. So because teaching is very sensitive, and what we're giving to the students need to be quality, and a lot of people that don't have educational qualification tend to go into teaching because that's a readily available job. But we say, okay, in CIEPUK, we say you cannot just go there. For example, you have a BSc in engineering or chemistry or biology. That does not make you a professional teacher. So we develop programs that we can use to integrate them into the teaching fold, into the education fold. So we have postgraduate programs that we have in CIEPUK that can brush them up, that can give them the necessary knowledge that they need to become professional teachers. So we have CPD programs, that's continuous professional development programs for teachers that we are running currently, where teachers can sign up, and both those ones that are professionally trained and those that are not professionally trained, to get a requisite skill that they need to impact knowledge in the schools. So giving students the opportunity to access education and training teachers to become better in their job is one of the key areas that CIEPUK is involved in.
Yes, I'll go back to Professor Uba, but before I go to him, let me ask you, is CIEPUK an African project?
Okay, CIEPUK is not an African project. It's a world project because CIEPUK is registered in the UK in London. That's where it started from. So now we're bringing it to Africa. We have an office in Nigeria, and we have directors all over Africa. So these directors are helping to cascade the vision of CIEPUK to other parts of Africa. So, but it started in London, and that is where it is registered, and it's also registered in Nigeria. And we're trying to cascade the vision to other parts of the country. So, CIEPUK is a world project.
Yes, all right. All right. Over to you, Professor Uba. For how long has CIEPUK been in operation?
Okay. The truth is that CIEPUK did not really start as CIEPUK. You know, it started as a center in the United Kingdom. So if I have to go back to that record, we'll say that CIEPUK is about 30 years, but coming to now, when CIEPUK came to limelight, CIEPUK has been in existence for the past 12 years in active education program. So I would say that in active professional educational program, CIEPUK is 12 years. But going back to the grassroots, the starting point, the days of little beginning, is about 30 years actually.
Yes, right. I'd like you to add one or two things to what Honorable Baka has said earlier. And at the same time, let's get to hear about the operational, should I say background now? How do you operate?
Okay, just to add to what my colleague has said about CIEPUK objectives, it's important to buttress the fact that CIEPUK is an institution that is duly registered in the United Kingdom and also accredited in the United Kingdom, and as well registered in Nigeria to profile educational solution to Africa and the rest of the world. Okay. And we engage in multiple operations when it comes to academic programs. And some of those things, some of these programs revolves around initiation, that is initiating and facilitating partnership between educational investors and implementers of educational and entrepreneurial development projects in Nigeria and beyond. So we also goes beyond that to providing scholarship fund for Nigerian and international students. These are some of the things that we do. And also we offer educational consultancy services to national and local governments in Nigeria, to educational institutions, and to other education sector stakeholders around the globe. And this has been our business. And going beyond that, also we empower and motivate educational practitioners to deepen their passion for their vocation while enhancing their capacities as educational service providers through research and development. And these are some of the things that we do amongst so many other things. And also to add to that, currently we have initiated a partnership-based relationship between CIEPUK and institutions, that is to say universities. That's whereby CIEPUK now offer 50% scholarship to students in Africa and elsewhere around the world to study at their choice discipline, in their choice discipline at our partner universities around the world at 50% tuition fee, which is a good news. And this is one of the things we're trying to educate Africans that, look, you can actually go to school if you know about these programs that is being provided by CIEPUK. And that has been our major campaign in recent times, 50% scholarship tuition fee in our partner universities. So these are some of the core things that we do, among so many other things, which we are going to be buttressing within this conversation.
It's all right. I know when we started, Professor Oba, you tried to give us the full meaning of CIEPUK, but both of you have using the word CIEPUK, and the audience might be wondering, what is the meaning of CIEPUK. Honorable Ba, I'll get back to you. Please, we start with this. What does CIEPUK means, number one, and at the same time, you are having an induction and induction ceremony and award-winning ceremony. What is it all about? You take it from the angle of the meaning of CIEPUK, please.
That question for me?
Yeah, it's for you, please.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, our names are Oba, so I'm a little confused.
Oh, Ubaka. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, the full meaning of CIEPUK is Chartered Institute of Educational Practitioners, United Kingdom. So that's the full meaning of CIEPUK. Yeah, since inception, we usually do what we call an annual induction and award ceremony to bring in new members into the institute and to induct new members and give awards to excellent personnel that have done excellently in the different fields. So we've had that for the past 12 years. We have had a couple of them in Nigeria, and this time around we're taking it to Fountain, South Africa. So we are using this opportunity. I don't know if I'll be doing an advert, but we're using this opportunity. We are using this opportunity to call on people that have the requisite qualifications, requisite knowledge, requisite experiences, that want to be a part of CIEPUK, to come around, to visit our website and all that, to become members and to be inducted into a category in CIEPUK. We have different categories. We have a full membership category. We have a chartered member category. We have the honorary category. We have the fellow category. Then I also want to say that CIEPUK is also in partnership with some universities, just like Professor Bass said. And we also have the leverage to award some doctorate degrees, to those people that are qualified to be honored in partnership with our affiliated universities. So for you to qualify for that, that means you must either be have a master's degree, or you're already a doctor and you want another doctor in another field. So, and you must have done excellently well in the area of education, anywhere that you are functioning. So those are the qualifications. The induction in South Africa promises to be a very, very wonderful one, because we're going to be having a lot of people from all walks of life visiting. It's not just an induction ceremony, it's also going to be an avenue to know more South Africa, because CIEPUK is also an institute that travels wide, so we're using the opportunity to show people South Africa and what South Africa is about. And just to say that the next one, we're also going to be doing it. We're going to be going back to our alma mater. We're going to be doing it in England, but currently we're focusing on the South African induction. Thank you very much.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much. We'll take a short break here and we will come back. The conversation will continue. Audience, please stay with us.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard blog and event posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind-the-scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard Blogs and Events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
You're welcome back. It is still the Alpha Students Panel discussion on Clevenard TV, and I'd like to remind you, if you are yet to sign up, please do that on www.clevenard.com. All right, I'm still with Honorable Ubaka and Professor S.J. Uba, and we are still discussing the CIEPUK Luncheon, International Induction and Award Ceremony in South Africa 2023. All right, Professor, I'll come to you. Before we took the short break, Honorable Ubaka tried to say one or two things about the induction ceremony. Please, let's have your contribution on it. So what do you guys plan to achieve with the EPIC ceremony?
Okay, in the induction proper, what we're going to do is try to bring people into CIEPUK. So that induction is actually a process of introducing people into our professional body through a ceremony. So that's what the induction is about. But then beyond that introduction of people into the professional body, we have programs in line for those inductees, those who will be practically inducted into the system. Now, within the space of the induction, we also be honoring people who are doing relatively well in their career, in their field, academically or otherwise. So we'll have also something like Excellence Award for people who are doing well in their discipline, in their field, whatever the case may be, including artisans, people like mechanics, hairdressers, and what have you, including people in sports. We'll be recognizing those people. Why? Because CIEPUK is an all-inclusive platform that wants to engineer education differently in Africa. So we want to use this induction season to introduce Africa and the rest of the world what we've come to do in Africa. We want to introduce professionalism and excellence into the educational sector in Africa and the rest of the world. So this upcoming induction will create a very vital window for professionals out there, including state actors and non-state actors, to be able to have a view of what CIEPUK will have to offer to the society. So there is that.
Is right. So is it already operational in South Africa?
In South Africa, yes, because I live in South Africa and I happen to be the vice president of CIEPUK, what we are doing now is we are creating awareness right here in South Africa. So this is one of the things, this CIEPUK, one of the roles that the induction, the international induction is going to play for us in South Africa. It's also a way of bringing CIEPUK to South Africa and the rest of Southern Africa, because we have not really started operating in Southern Africa. So through this induction, we are going to establish CIEPUK properly. That's why we call it CIEPUK Luncheon, an international induction and award ceremony, South Africa. So our intent is to establish our presence in Southern Africa, not just in South Africa, because we are all over Africa. We are in Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, and the rest of Africa. But for the first time, we are coming to South Africa through this induction.
So let's talk about South Africa fully for the meantime, since you are hosting it on there this September. All right, so Honorable Ubaka, please, you come in here. How do you intend to use this induction ceremony to state your presence in South Africa?
Thank you very much. I think my vice president has elaborated that we'll be using this luncheon to launch CIEPUK in not just South Africa, but Southern Africa. So we're using it to create awareness. You know, when you are bringing in a new initiative, uh, a lot of people will be skeptical and they will want to have more information. So we're going to be bringing in a lot of people on that day, community leaders. We're going to be bringing in university dons. We're going to be bringing in educational consultants, educational institutes. We're going to be bringing in a lot of stakeholders in education. So on that day, we are going to be unveiling all the aspects that CIEPUK engages in education. So we're going to be letting them know what CIEPUK is. We're going to be letting them know the things that CIEPUK have done in the past. We're going to be letting them know what we are going to do in the future. And we're going to be letting them know how they can be part of what we're doing. And even before the program is out now, a lot of people started getting a lot of calls because by the time we put up the adverts and the promotions, people started visiting the website and the social media, and they saw that we're doing a lot of things. So we started getting a lot of calls for people that want to partner, for people that want to engage with us. So the induction is going to be an avenue to launch CIEPUK in South Africa and Southern Africa. Thank you.
All right, now we're talking of the induction, which is the event itself. So I needed to come in here. Now, you've mentioned the stakeholders, the teachers, students, and others, all right? Now, what are those salient things, very important things that you will want the stakeholders to take home with them at the event?
Okay, thank you. One of the key things we were looking forward to is the partnership between CIEPUK and the community. Because our primary goal is to take education to the grassroots. So if we must accomplish that feat, we need to drive partnership between CIEPUK and the community. And how do we do that? It's through inclusiveness of our mandate, by bringing on board the stakeholders in the community, the state actors, non-state actors, the students, and including traditional heads, churches, ministries, associations, institutes, universities. We need to bring them on board. So by so doing, we'll now create a space for them to know what CIEPUK can offer to them and to the community at large. Because many people don't understand at this point, maybe in Southern Africa, what we can offer. So with this induction, people will be able to see, because a proper introduction of CIEPUK and its operations will be relayed to the people so that they can get hold of what CIEPUK can do for them. In that induction, they'll be able to understand that they can advance their academic career, irrespective of where they are at the moment, whether they are just having matric or high school certificate. They can drive home something tangible at the end of the day and become graduates tomorrow if they can start their journey with CIEPUK. Remember, we don't just provide education, we also engage in consultancy. That's to say, we counsel people on how to go about their career. Aside from that, there is a whole lot to take home. CIEPUK facilitates students to study anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. As I speak now, we have opportunities of study, like research studies, masters and PhDs, with our partners across the globe on 50%, not just in Nigeria or in Africa. So our operations are vast. You can talk about US, Canada, UK, Australia, Germany, and the rest of Africa and the rest of the world. So this is how far we've gone to make sure that we provide education to the grassroots around the global community. So one thing they are going to take home is that we can provide what we say we are providing. We are trusted to do exactly what we put on paper.
So you talked about grassroots, bringing education to the grassroots, all right? And You will agree with me that not everybody in the grassroots will have access to the kind of media or platform that you are using to reach out to these people. And so, do you have any plans on ground to reach the grassroots, those that cannot access the internet and some other devices that exist today?
Yes, we do. We do, because before now, even before this induction, I've already raised campaigns for CIEPUK here through my community activities. You know, as a human rights educator, I engage the community on one-on-one basis. The police unit in South Africa, I've engaged them on one-on-one basis, and I've been able to communicate to them to say, look, this is not just about teaching you about the human rights, about giving you education on drugs, but we have an added advantage to our educational program, which will be provided by institution called CIEPUK, which will help whether they are police officers like Metro Police in South Africa, for example. Some of the members of Metro Police or SAPS will still need to upgrade themselves in certain areas when it comes to education. So they can take advantage of this program. So while I'm going about my community engagement with the community, I introduce CIEPUK program. So that is the outreach. That's a method we have used, we have adopted in order to make sure that people in the community get hold of our program, because we are aware that it's not everybody that has access to internet. It's not everybody has access to internet. So we need mouth-to-mouth evangelism when it comes to, or outreach, when it comes to getting our programs out there to the people.
It's all right. Thank you. You both spoken well, and I'll get back to. I don't really like. I'll direct my question to Honorable Baka now. All right, you've talked about the number of years that CIEPUK has been in operations, and I would like to hear one or two success stories from you guys. Is there anyone whose life was changed because of CIEPUK program?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I know the question is there anyone? But I would say there are a lot of people. I will cite one example. There was a program we organized last year in Nigeria. The program is titled De-Radicalizing of Commercial Sex Workers in Nigeria. So the objective of the program was to go into the streets to locate the areas that these sex workers usually work. You know, it's usually in the night. So we preached the gospel of CIEPUK to them, and we told them that if they can come out of what they are doing, that CIEPUK has a program of empowerment that they can use to bring them out of what, because a lot of them say, we are doing this because we don't have job, we don't have money, we don't have anybody to take care of us. That's why we're doing this. So we developed a program where it's an empowerment program. So but this empowerment program was channeled towards the commercial sex workers. So we were able to get a lot of them. We worked in partnership with the Nigerian government, you know, to get a lot of these people that showed interest, and a lot of them showed interest. We got their information and we put them up on a training, where empowerment training, where at the end we were able to give them some takeoff funds. We have, some of them hairdressing, some of them, you know, they learned a lot of things. They can be making money on a daily basis, and it was very impactful. We actually unveiled them, you know, in our last induction in Nigeria, and they were happy, you know, to have an alternative source of income, and a sustainable one, and a source of income they can be proud of, because a lot of them that do these things, they do it, you know, they hide to do it, and that's,
without
you know,
choice.
yes, and that gave us a lot of joy, and we got a lot of testimonies, you know, of how CIEPUK have supported. And for us to achieve this, we had also some people donating to the cause, you know, to bringing in some funds and some materials to make sure that we're able to achieve radicalizing the commercial sex workers. And it's one of the success stories that I've seen that transformed the lives of people in CIEPUK. So I think that's just one case study. Thank you.
Okay, you just talking one case study. But please, I'd like to share another experience with us.
Okay, still on people who have been impacted by CIEPUK. There are so many of them. But I would like to paint a picture on our operation. I just want to touch this area because it's important. That's how we impact people. The area of teachers. We have a non-professional teachers. Non-professional teachers. That is to say, we have people who have qualifications, who have degrees, but they don't have background in education. That is to say, they are teaching. And then we have another category, teachers who are professionals and they are teaching. So these two categories are different sets of people we deal with in CIEPUK. And within these two categories, we have helped a lot of people in CIEPUK. For example, let me start with the non-professional teachers. We create a platform where they are upgraded through CPD, continued professional development programs. Then we upgrade them so that they will now have what we call CTS, Chartered Teacher Status. See, from there, they now migrate and apply for their professional diploma, that's postgraduate diploma in education. That is to say, they want to find a balance and become licensed teachers in their respective countries. That is, by the way, now you now have this set we call professional teachers. These are actually the people who are professional teachers who are already practicing, but they want to go abroad to work in a better environment, to have a better working experience, and also for greener pasture. So CIEPUK has created a platform in partnership with institutions in the United Kingdom. Remember, CIEPUK is founded in UK and accredited in UK as well. So we have a lot of partnership there. So most of our facilitators actually facilitate some of our programs for the United Kingdom. Now, such people, this category are the people we put together and facilitate them to be able to qualify and have what we call IQTS. Okay, so that is International Quality Teacher Status. So CIEPUK has helped uncountable people, numerous people, to travel abroad, that's to qualify for IQTS and get employment in the United Kingdom and travel to work there. Until today, they are working there. Most of them have relocated with their entire family in the United Kingdom. These are some of the things CIEPUK is doing, more especially when it comes to teachers. We have core interest. We have real interest in teachers, improving the life, the educational career of teachers. So that's one area I would like to highlight, which is very, very important. In fact, as we are coming to South Africa, that is one of our major focuses, to make sure that teachers are motivated to do more. Because if you want to assess the welfare of students, you need to do that through the teachers, how qualified, how the teachers have keep on upgrading themselves from time to time with a CPD. So that's just what I want to add to that effect. We've helped a lot of people in this respect.
So I thank you so much. We'll take another short break here and the conversation will continue after the break. Audience, please stay with us.
Let's sell on your behalf. If your item sells on our web shop, you pay a 10% commission plus the transaction fees, and you get the rest. Register now at www.shop.clevenard.com. Start uploading your product and services. We can really sell it on your behalf so you can carry on working on the things important to you. Are you looking to sell any type of product or service and you want to avoid the hassle involved? Selling can be an arduous and time-consuming process. At Clevenard Super Shop, we will be happy to take over the workload of promoting or selling your products or services. All you need to do is to register at www.shop.clevenard.com, enter your shop or vendor information, and then start uploading your product and services. We will do the selling. Now, be ready to get more sales and awareness. Start making more money from your business with Clevenard Super Shop by partnering with us today.
Well, You're welcome back. All right, we are still discussing CIEPUK Induction South Africa 2023. All right, crossover. Why is CIEPUK, or why do you think CIEPUK is important to the world right now?
Okay, that's a very important question. I would like to respond in this manner.
Okay, sorry, please. Let me even come in here first, because when you say it's important to the world, it is important for us to know the background of which this question is being asked. Because I have kids that are in school that have complained severely about the standard of teachers that takes these students. Okay, I know I think that your honorable have said one or two things about that before, but please, I want to take it from that same level. All right. Unqualified teachers in a classroom, students not getting enough of what they are supposed to get in the educational sector and all that. So as it stands, what are you guys offering, okay, to the world right now?
Okay, let me start this way. You asked a very important question. I want to tell you that, for example, in South Africa, it's strange when they hear CTS, when you say CTS, many teachers who are professional teachers, they don't understand what it is. They only understand the term, the national license for teachers. They have their own. Every country has its own. But when it comes to some of these nomenclatures we use to grade teachers and upgrade teachers, most teachers don't understand them. This is what makes CIEPUK very unique. When you talk about the CTS, they don't really understand that. When you talk about, that's talking about chartered teachers. There are many teachers who are practicing, but they are not chartered. What it means that they don't have a vibrant, relevant, professional body they are attached to as teachers that will keep upgrading them, motivating them to do more. Because most of these teachers left school 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. But when you look at it, you find out that over the years, they've not been going through professional development, that's CPDs, to improve upon what they have learned or what they're disciplined.
To meet up with current trends.
Yes. So we live in a modern world, in a modern society where it's no longer business as usual that you have a PhD. For example, what we're talking about is important because as long as teaching is concerned, you might have a PhD, yet you will not be a professional teacher if you don't have a background in education. And this is where CIEPUK comes in. It's not enough to have master's or bachelor or even diploma, and you are teaching, but you don't have background in education. You are not yet a professional teacher. You will not be accepted across the world, more especially in a developed world that has strong policies when it comes to education. Now, this is where CIEPUK plays vital roles. We want to make sure that anyone that is teaching has not just having a background in education, but is up to date with the real world, real modern world, the world of today. A lot of things have changed. The way we used to do things is no longer the way we are doing things today. The traditional way of doing things actually have gone obsolete. So you need to upgrade yourself. And teacher and CIEPUK is just at the right spot of improving upon the standard of teachers through CTS and other professional programs that we have within our system. So coming to South Africa, the word CTS is new as far as I'm concerned. And the word being chartered is new as far as I'm concerned. So we're looking forward to working with the Ministry of Education in South Africa to make sure that we play a very vital role in upgrading the standard of teachers and the standard of teaching in our institutions around Africa and the rest of the world. So
it's all right. Now, in upgrading an Africa curriculum, all right, in upgrading Africa curriculum, does CIEPUK has a role to play in that? And if there is, we just say one or two things about that. And again, what is that unique thing about CIEPUK that the audience needs to know? Please, Honorable Uba, I need you to come in there. Ubaka.
Okay, thank you very much. Talking about curriculum, my president, Professor Marcel Ezenwoye, the global president of CIEPUK, has always told us, of which we can also see from the manual of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, the working document, that covers all the details that the teachers have to pass through in Nigeria, was developed by CIEPUK. So in the area of curriculum development, CIEPUK is also very, very much active in that area. You asked the question, what is CIEPUK doing, to improve what is happening in the world, especially in the learning outcomes for the children? Currently, we have students that I call them the why students, because they keep asking why. When you say 1 + 1 is 2, they say why is it 2?
Why is it 2?
Yes. When they keep asking, if you have children in the house and you say something, they'll say, mommy, why? Or daddy, why? They are the why children. But when we have teachers, like my vice president said, when we have teachers that schooled in the last 30 years or 20 years, when they are in the classroom without upgrading their skills, when the students start asking the why questions, they become irritated. And they become, yes, they become, they'll start getting angry, to these children. But one of the trainings we are also given in CIEPUK is to train these teachers that as the trends are going, as the trends are changing, the nomenclature and the makeup of students are also changing. Now we have the why children. So when they ask you questions, why is this, why is that, you answer them, you give them an opportunity. And I must tell you, a lot of students nowadays, some of them even know more than the teachers, because a lot of them travel. Some students, I had a child, that had traveled almost all parts of the continent, and that child will come back to the classroom to meet a teacher that has not left the country. So when this teacher is teaching, for example, geography in the class, and he mentioned one rock, or he mentioned one river, or the child will say, and if that teacher does not get it right, maybe he's using an obsolete information, the student can say, sir, I've been there, it was not like that, but these are the experiences that we have. So that's why CIEPUK is out there to upgrade the knowledge of these teachers so that they can be able to work at par with the new realities in education. Thank you.
Is that right? Thank you so much, both of you. Now, we'll have some Nigerian or African students stranded, all right, in the Sudan war and all that. Governments of each countries are making plans on how to relocate them back to their countries. For you both, do you have any plans for such students? Because nobody actually knows the duration or the length of the war in Sudan. So most of them might have to spend years, months, and that's out of school just at home. Do you have, or the CIEPUK has any plan for these students? Professor Barclays.
Definitely, there is a current publication out there right now where we emphasize the fact that we are actually going to engage with these students that are coming back from Sudan to reintegrate them into higher institutions via our partnership program. And that goes back to try to highlight the fact that we conduct course appreciation programs for aspiring university students. Unfortunately, this set coming from Sudan made crisis over there. So we already have existing program for such people. So they are going to take advantage of some of these scholarship programs we mentioned here. So what will CIEPUK do? CIEPUK will accommodate these students and try to find out their area of specialty, and then engage with our partner universities to find out how to integrate them back into schools via the partnership program that we already have in existence. And we are on it right now as I speak.
Now, if we pass this program in the first place, how cost effective is it?
Our programs are cost effective in the sense that they are very friendly in the sense that we go into partnership. That's to say, we have to negotiate with the university that are partnering with CIEPUK, because we want to make sure that education is affordable to the community of Africa and that of the rest of the world. So if we leave it the way it is, it will be possible for us to actualize our dreams, our mandate. So our mandate is to make education affordable. So in that light, we engage the higher institution to say, we are going to bring this number of students on board, but then you have to cut your tuition in half for us to do that. So CIEPUK is actually playing a major key role in providing education to the community of Africa and the rest of the world, because we negotiate with these institutions and they have to have this tuition. In fact, recently we received an offer for 80% tuition fee. At the moment, we are working on that right now. It's still in the pipeline. So should we secure that particular partnership, that is good news for people out there. Probably some of these people coming from Sudan will take advantage of that kind of arrangement. So that's to tell you that when it comes to costs, we make sure we reduce it to almost to nothing. Very, very affordable for parents to take their children to school.
Yes, all right. Let's not forget that we are still discussing the CIEPUK induction and award ceremony. So we'll talk about the award ceremony. What are the awards for each of the categories? Honorable Baka, please.
Okay. We have different categories.
I'll take the question back to Professor Oba, but let's get to hear from you first.
Okay. I think I touched it a bit when I started. We have different categories of awards for the induction. We have is an opportunity to bring in new members. So we have the membership award, membership induction category for the people that want to be members of CIEPUK. Then we have the chartered teacher member category. So that means if you want to be a chartered teacher, because we have currently we have other professions that are chartered, chartered accountant, chartered economics, chartered this and chartered that. So CIEPUK is bringing in the initiative of the chartered teacher status. So with this chartered, with this status, it takes you out from the normal teacher. So because for you to get this chartered teacher, you must have passed through some CPDs, that can upgrade you to that level. So we are inducting people in that category. Then we also have the fellow category, honorary fellow category. Then we have the doctoral category, doctoral fellow. We have the ambassadorial fellow category. Then for the doctoral fellow, it's very sensitive there because you must have gotten some qualifications for you to qualify to be awarded a doctoral fellow. For example, you must be a master degree holder with a lot of experience, and you must either also be a doctor, a current doctor in maybe in another field, for you to qualify. And we are also particular about what you have done, what you have contributed to education. So before we even consider you, we are supposed to open a document for you where you send in your CV, where you send in your work, the publications that you have done, and all the contributions that you have done in education. I'm particular about this doctoral and ambassadorial position. So we want to give awards to people that have contributed immensely to the improvement of education. Then we have the category of Excellence Award. So this Excellence Award is where we give award of excellence to those people that have contributed, exceptionally in their different fields. So this is not particularly in education, but it can be in education, it can be in other sector, transportation, it can be in government, it can be all levels of government as a president. In our last induction in one of the African countries, the president of the country was awarded by CIEPUK. So we have Excellence Award, that covers all other areas, all other professions. So those are the categories that we're currently working on. Maybe my vice president, who is the chief host, will throw more light again, in addition to what I've said. Thank you.
Yes, all right. So over to you, Professor Oba.
Okay, thank you for that question. I would like to also emphasize on these categories because people are looking forward to them. We have our standard professional categories when it comes to certification and awards, which are honorary member, like he has said, the full member, and chartered member, associate fellow, ambassadorial fellow, and doctoral fellow, ambassadorial doctoral fellow, professorial fellow, and professorial ambassadorial professorial fellow as well. So these are our key award categories, that we want people to be inducted or nominated for induction. And having said that, people can actually nominate themselves or nominate someone else they feel that is doing something that worth it in the community or making impact. But then we also have special category award for other people. As a professional body, we come up with the idea to identify with people in religious education as well, because it's all about education. So we need to accommodate them, including Islamic scholars and people in Christian, people in higher Christian education. We want to find a way to accommodate and appreciate their effort in those regards, because quality of education that is being dished out there matters. We have what we call honorary Christian scholar, that is HCS, and honorary Christian theologian or honorary Christian professional. So what that means is that if you're a Christian who is interested in theology, you can actually find your space in this award certification we're giving out. Okay, so that is how far we have gone at the moment. The same thing applies to our Muslim brothers who are scholars or Islamic scholars, Islamic theologians, and Islamic professionals, those who are engaged, actively engaged in the study of their own belief and system. We find a way to accommodate, to appreciate it, okay? Because we find out that misinformation has actually caused a lot of problem within the religious world, because when people are misinformed, they pass wrong information out there that is causing problems within our society. So we want to appreciate people who are actively engaged in these fields and who are doing it excellently. That's why we created this particular category. Now, I want to go back to the doctoral category he mentioned. CIEPUK is in partnership with so many universities across the world, from the US to Spain to UK to Nigeria, Cameroon, Zambia, all over. Now, when it comes to doctoral fellows, we are very careful because we want to make sure that those who apply for those categories merited it. You must have a credible, traceable academic background or work you've done for several years, for nothing less than 20 years to apply for doctoral fellow under CIEPUK. So through our partner institutions, as universities out there, accredited universities out there, we'll now be able to facilitate, incorporate you as a fellow of CIEPUK, and then you'll be able to obtain an endorsed doctorate degree from a reputable university via the partnership of CIEPUK. So why do we do that? We do that so that the degrees we are giving or the award we are giving will be traceable to reputable institution, because CIEPUK is an accredited institution. So that is why we go to that length. So that is what we have when it comes to awards and certifications, when it comes to this particular induction. More could be added to it, like he has said, Excellence Award to people who are out there, not just people in education, but in any field.
All right, so as the chief host of the event, I'll leave you to give us the final word, but I'll go over to Honorable Baka for this one, the date, the venue, and the time of the event.
Okay, the date for the induction, it's the 2nd of September, and it's holding in Johannesburg, Southampton, Johannesburg. I think that's basically the
Is there time for it? Is it just a one-day event?
Yes, it's a one-day event.
It's just a one-day event. So they're going to hear the time when they sign up, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So Bob, please give us the last word and we'll wrap it up for today.
Okay. I would like to say this, and I'd like to say that the CIEPUK induction, the International Induction and Award Ceremony, is one of a kind. It's one of a kind. There've never been any kind of induction like that in South Africa. This is the first of its kind that a professional body will come to launch this kind of initiative. There are a lot of professional bodies that are launching their stuff there, but CIEPUK program is unique in the sense that it's introducing a kind of new programs that will advance the cost of teachers, not just in South Africa, but the rest of the world. Our trainings are recognized by the United Kingdom government. We are working in line with their policies, and our teachers upgraded through CIEPUK, find express job, and they work in the UK. And that's to tell you, there is no place CIEPUK cannot function, legally and achieve its objectives. So if United Kingdom can partner with CIEPUK to produce quality teachers for them in their system, I don't think there is any country in Africa that will not accommodate the programs of CIEPUK. So this is good news, and that is one thing I would like everybody to drive home from this interview, that CIEPUK is not just a fly-by-night institution, but is an institution that is credible enough to produce teachers from Africa that has the credibility of what it takes to work in a country like United Kingdom, US, Canada, Australia, and the rest of the world. And that is a credit, that is a huge credit to CIEPUK. So we are coming to do the same in South Africa and in Southern Africa at large to produce quality teachers, not just for the United Kingdom, but for our own continent, Africa here. We want quality education in this place. So I would like to encourage people out there, stakeholders out there, community leaders, associations, including churches, to embrace the vision and the mandate of CIEPUK, because we have come to stay and our mandate is very clear. We want to bring education to the grassroots by any means necessary. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Yes, and I thank you so much, Honorable Ubaka and Professor S.J. Ubaka, for being with us in the studio today. All right, and wish you all the best in your events.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you,
audience, for staying tuned with us. We draw the curtain here now until our next edition to have a blessed day. Bye.